up, YouTube, and welcome to the Race Flames Radio Show. This is another amazing show for you here on YouTube. It's going to be a blast. You guys know that I am kind of a aficionado, if you will, kind of an innovator when it comes to clothing, whether it's my dad jeans that I'm wearing right now that I invented just for being a dad, whether it's me wearing my dad hats, or whether it's me in my barbecue outfits, jeans, basically not jeans, when I'm barbecuing, it's shorts, low-cut socks, black, of course, not white, my Adidas, a shirt just like this with the Race Flames logo totally wiped out because we're on a budget here, and just like this. So I am an innovator. I am a fashionista, if you will. So companies are starting to notice. They're starting to see my style. They're starting to see my fits, and they're just like, holy moly, we got to get over there. So today, one of those companies is here in the house. The company's called Patient, Consistent, Persistent. You guys might know my friend J3EZUS, one of the greatest rap stars in this area, part of Batch Records, one of the executives over there at Batch Records, and just an amazing star. If there's any rap album you're listening to right now, they all have J3EZUS on them. If not, you can listen to his full-length albums on Spotify. Let's walk over to the food cam and see what he's got going. He's got some samples here for us to look at. Let's go see what he's got. Nice. What's up, J3EZUS?
What up, brother? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man.
Awesome, dude. So, Batch Records, in affiliation with Batch Records, Little Product Entertainment.
That's Ill Product.
Oh,
sorry.
Ill Product Entertainment. Ill Product Entertainment doing it big, and the new company, Patient Persistent Clothing. Tell us about this line right here.
Well, once again, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I go by the name of Jesus Cervantes, and that's my legal name. But for most people that know me as my artist name, like Ray said, I go by Jesus, the 3 before the E. I just recently started this brand. I am the official creator, founder, and owner and CEO of this brand. Patient, consistent, persistent. It's more than just a brand. It's a movement, and it's a way of life. Ooh. I am starting off by presenting these hats that I officially have made. This one specifically being for my boy Ray.
Woo! That's for me.
It's for you.
Trucker hat, baby. You guys know I like the trucker hat. Get my fit right with the trucker hat. When I'm driving the truck, I'm gonna wear my trucker hat. Man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you. You know, more to come. That's the first piece of merch that we have released. As you guys can see what I'm wearing, this is all custom for me. I'm working on more pieces of merch. I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Drew, Viewing Visuals. If you guys can check him out on Instagram, he made this shirt for me as well. You know, I've been working on jewelry, like just keeping my mind open to a lot of more other things than just, you know, simple merch. So, you know, we got stickers here as well. We're working on a lot of ideas. So we can definitely step into more of, you know, talking about what we got for this brand. But we have a lot. We have a lot on the table.
Awesome. By the way, first 3 people to DM me right now in my Instagram, you're going to get a free sticker. We're going to send a free sticker to you. Patient, consistent, persistent of the brand. This is beautiful. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got jackets. He's got medallions. He's got these exclusive hats, which are high quality. If you can't feel them if you're not there. It's super strong. Foamy. I love the foam. The girls are gonna love it. The guys are gonna love it. Yeah. These are amazing hats. Look at this quality. It's amazing. Let's go over to the couch and talk about this amazing business that J3EZUS has going on. Yes, sir. Awesome. Thanks for the hat.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
You can rock that. There you go. Like you said, it's comfy, you know. One thing that we've been trying to mainly focus on is quality, you know. Right now, I obviously don't have quantity, but I'm focusing on making sure that I release quality stuff.
That's a good point. When you say like you don't have as much stuff, you mean like inventory or just as many SKUs?
Inventory, exactly. Yeah.
Inventory. Okay.
So
cool,
right now I'm working on releasing more stock or like stocking up on more inventory and having the quantity, like I said, but. For the moment, we're focusing on releasing just a low number of items for the merch, but it's all going to be quality stuff. So,
Sweet.
you know, comfortable stuff and stuff that you can see yourself rocking, even if the brand's name is not on it.
That jacket's sick, dude.
Appreciate it.
Dude, look at the sleeves, leather sleeves.
Yes, sir. I got the establishment. This is the year it was established, the brand. 2024.
That's
Yes,
when you
sir.
established the brand?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, dude. So people can buy that jacket?
If they want to, yes, we can talk about it, but it's something that is not like in person, like that I carry. I would have to customize it for you.
Oh, so you can customize for the customer.
Correct.
Nice. So you're doing custom
Custom pieces, custom
for
work. Yep.
Cool. Custom pieces. You got the jacket. You got the hats. Are these, because there's different ways of doing it. You can carry a whole warehouse full of jackets, hats, medallions, and then there's a made to order, like you use what I use is like Fourth Wall. It's a processor where when people want to order, they click on it, they order it, it gets made, and then it gets shipped to them.
Correct.
Is that what you use?
That's what I am doing at the moment.
Cool.
I'm focusing more on like online sales.
Yeah.
So I obviously, am making in-person sales with the stuff that I carry, which is limited, but I'm only doing that to the people that are like real close to me in the community that, what we're doing this with. But
Nice.
As far as like people that are starting to follow the brand and are barely starting to know it, they reach out on online, like pretty much Instagram or whatever.
Is there a website?
And right now I'm working on a website.
Okay, so there'll be a
also,
website.
Batch Records is currently almost releasing their website. We're working on a .com. So on there you will be able to see all of my pretty much my artist things, and also for the brand, the Patient, Consistent, Persistent.
Sweet.
So everything's going to be connected on the batchrecords.com, but I am still working on a separate .com for this brand. So there will be a lot of just more things coming on the way.
Perfect. So Batch Records, you'll be able to buy it on Batch Records
Yes, sir.
websites, and then also the Patient, Persistent, Consistent website will be coming in the future. So this is all brand new. Why is it all brand new, guys? Because this is the Raise Flays radio show. This is the exclusive for you. Everything that's new in hip hop and the underground is going to come on this show first. We're seeing it first. Amazing quality clothing. Get your fit right. And if you want to get it now, and if you want to get it early, you're going to have to go on his Instagram. Let me put his Instagram in there for you on the chat so you guys can get that right away. Get a hold of him right away, because this stuff's going to start selling like crazy. It's starting to get known out there, and people are going to want it really like out of control. So hit that link that I just put in the chat and make sure you get yours. Whether you want a hat, you want to customize a jacket, that's a badass leather. I bet you my son wants something like that with that Leatherman jacket with the logo on it. You got the medallions, you got t-shirts, made to order, fresh stuff like a taco. Okay, taco de mañana. Holy moly, medallion, dude. Rolling with a medallion, dude. I need to get one in silver and then one in like gold.
Gold. That's my next one.
Like just rolling with a bunch of chains. Like, yeah. That's right. That's right. Crazy. Hats, t-shirts, jackets, medallions, all kinds of merch. J3 to the Aegis. You guys know him from Batch Records compilation. He was here a while back. The Batch Records compilation just came out a couple weeks ago, right?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Holy moly, amazing album with everybody, with Bravo, with J3 to the EZUS. Prophecy's on there too, right?
Prophecy, Danny Boy.
Danny Boy. What's the other guy's name I just met too? I forgot. So
Well, as far as Batch Records, that is us as a team. Also, we did have another member. His name is Average Joe.
Average Joe, that's the guy. He was on there as well too. Amazing album. Make sure you check that out on Spotify. It's crazy, but so they're not stopping there. They've got the music, they've got the shows that happen. We'll talk more about the shows at the end. If you got a show to talk about at the end, we'll talk about more shows. But now they're getting into the merch, just like true hip hop artists getting into the fashion, getting into the merch, the e-commerce is the way to go. There's no other way. Get that website up.
Yeah.
Start selling on that website. We'll talk about it. I'll give you a couple other little secrets in the background.
Most definitely.
Get that thing moving. It's the way to go. It's going to be fast. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get your custom outfits from J3EZUS. Music combined with the arts. It is art. Art is music. Art is art. They've got the shows with Full of Life music as well.
Underground live events.
Underground?
Yeah, underground live events.
Underground live events. Underground live events. They've got a podcast that just launched.
We just started a podcast.
Started a podcast.
It's called the Underground Hype Show.
Underground Hype Show. Holy moly, the Underground Hype Show. Another podcast, great podcast to listen to. What do you guys talk about down there? Just what shows are coming up and stuff like that?
So at first, we started our first episode pretty much introducing ourselves, not only as, the idea of what we're trying to do, but us as an individual, because even though, there's a lot of people that do know us from the shows that we're hosting ourselves or where we go to perform to other people's shows, there's still, people out there that don't know about us. So we wanted to start the podcast by not only introducing ourselves as individuals and pretty much talking about where we come from and why we are doing what we're doing. So that's how we started our first podcast. But as we are moving along through each episode, we are interviewing artists that have came to our shows at the Underground Live events. And so we're interviewing them not only on their experience, on how they saw or how they felt when they came to our shows, but we also interview them more we focus more on them and what they're doing as artists. So we ask them questions about we seen that you have released music, let's talk about the music, or we see that you have this other things going on. Recently we interviewed this rapper. Her name is the Rap of Rap of Mischief, something like that.
Rapper Mischief?
Yeah.
Rapper Mischief, if you know who you are and you know your name, come on the show.
I'm sorry, I may not be saying that right, but she has just, a lot of things going on, I don't even want to get so much into it because it's just so much, but it's there's so many artists that are doing things that we're not doing. So we're not just trying to focus and limit on one thing. We're trying to, expand and talk about just other things that they have going on and get into that too as well,
Nice. So I love it. I love the whole idea. Much like my show, you try to get into their story, what they're about.
I'm sorry. I just remember the name. I got to get that right.
Oh, get that name right.
Me. Her name is the Mistress of Rap.
The Mistress of Rap.
The Mistress of Rap. She's a really dope person, a really dope artist. If you guys want to go check her out, she's definitely an artist to check out.
The Mistress. Let me try to find her. Mistress.
Yeah. But we got more episodes that we're working on currently, and we're in the process of releasing to the public as well. So
crazy. Cool. Out of control. You get these artists on the show. Also, you mentioned the way that they can come on the show after doing live events.
Correct.
You kind of get that immediate feedback from them, how they felt coming to the show, how they felt maybe the organization was, how they felt performing at the show, how the audience is. So you get that kind of immediate feedback about a show that maybe a lot of people went to, and so they can all chime in. And if you're doing it on Spotify, right? Or how are you guys doing the podcast?
The podcast right now, we're sticking to YouTube. We're releasing all the content on YouTube.
So are you doing it live like we're doing right now?
Yeah. Well, pretty much we record it and then we do the edits and then we drop it throughout the week.
I was gonna say, you might want to think about doing some lives.
Yeah, no, we're working on so much other avenues,
Just at least for the ones about the show, because imagine all these people went to the show and immediately after, the next day, if you're not too hungover, you do the live, at 12 in the afternoon, and then everybody's talking about the show from the night before.
Yeah,
keep the hype going. Just keep the hype going. You know what I mean?
Especially
if it's a big,
idea right
because you
there.
guys have awesome shows. So
Appreciate that.
to keep that hype going, the next day do a live
Yeah.
YouTube. It's a podcast still. It's on YouTube, but everybody's chatting in and chiming in.
Yeah.
So that's just an idea.
No, it's definitely, I appreciate that for, for the ideas. We just been working on balancing everything out that we have going on, since, the podcast isn't the only thing we have going. Like you said, the shows, it started with the shows, and then we are artists, so we still try to focus on our own music at the same time. And
Nice.
now with the brand, I'm trying to push the brand more. So it's just all of that and balancing it out with our own just individual lives, aside from everything that we have going on.
Hell yeah. I don't know how you guys find time to do all this. It's crazy.
You got to make the time.
Nice. 100%. What made you decide to get into the clothing line?
So the clothing line started off, I would say the idea came to me maybe a year or two ago. It was more of like a way of like, I guess, pushing myself mentally and physically in what I have going on with my music, right? And Patient, Consistent, Persistent started off as a title of a song that I was going to create. I was going to release this song I was going to abbreviate it or do the initials of the Patient, Consistent, Persistent. So the song was going to be called PCP. And so, that would have been thrown everybody off. And the people I told about, in my crew, the idea of it all, like, it was, I had to like think about it more. It couldn't just be that. And I knew that it had so much more potential than just a song. I'm like, this is not just a song. This is much more than this. So I really have to strategize and think about this correctly. And it started off as a song, and it just completely made sense to me that, hey, this is my brand. This is the way I need to be living and pushing people to also live their lives,
Huge.
Because ultimately people do live their lives by it. People have to stay patient with what they're doing. They have to stay consistent so that they can work towards their goals, and they have to be persistent because, hey man, people are going to tell you no. Life is going to tell you no.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to push through it.
Your mind is going to tell you no.
Yeah, so it's like, that's why I say it's more than a brand. It's a way of life. It's the way you think, and it's a movement. So,
That's awesome.
I definitely picked up on that real quick, and now here we are.
It's awesome. It's a flip the switch, because we all know PCP, or we shouldn't, but we do.
Yeah, it's a negative thing because of unfortunately it's a drug, right?
Yeah,
But that's why I when I first thought about it in a song, it was such a brilliant idea to me, because naming it PCP, I'm like, people already are gonna see it as a negative thing. But as soon as I tell them what it's actually about, it's gonna be, like you said, the flip the switch.
Yes.
And it's crazy because I haven't said that to anybody but you, and I have people coming up to me that they don't say the brand name by the whole. They abbreviate it. They say PCP, and I'm just like, that's
until the moment you said that, I didn't even think of that. I was persistent. I mean, because it's been a while, but patient, consistent, persistent. That's all I thought. But PCP,
yeah,
dude, crazy.
The only reason why I didn't stick to that, not only because it really had to be specific to what I'm actually talking about, like,
Sure.
I have to not just leave it as PCP and then people are gonna be confused about it.
Right.
But there is also a brand already called PCP. Not that it means anything, not that I know of, but it's literally PCP clothing. They're from like Greece or something.
But are they focused on the drug side of it, or
No, they're literally just on clothing. They have like women's clothing, they have children clothing, they have swimwear. Like, it's just literally clothing.
So it's a brand. Thessaloniki in the Greece, in Thessaloniki, Greece.
Yeah.
PCP clothing. So it's just a clothing brand.
Correct.
Crazy,
yeah.
but I think it's a lot more powerful what you're doing, because and I didn't pick on it, but you said already people were picking up on it. They're calling it PCP, but it's the flip and the switch. It's like, we could take this negative concept and change it into patient, consistent, persistent, a positive message. it's a powerful thing, and you made it clear. You wanted to make make sure you wanted to be clear on your message that it was about patience, it was about consistency, it was about persistence, and the message will just continue to grow as you start to do like stories and reels about patience, about being patient, about being consistent, about being persistent. And he's already lived it because he's an artist, and it's not like he's an artist like me. It's not like CBS is calling and knocking our door. We're doing it for the community, for our crew, for our underground. People know who we are. People know J3EZUS. People know Batch Records. They're doing their thing consistently. They're persistent about it. And then people like me look, oh, what? Dude, I think they're amazing. I think they're fat. I think I'm like blown away that CBS, ABC isn't not. Man, you guys better get these guys because, they're amazing artists and they're new. And we've talked about on the show the way they bring it. It's not the love the and I'm bored type of hip hop and I might shoot some people. And the ladies in the jacuzzi with the that's all good, but this is old school 90s style, bringing it back. They've listened to it, their parents listen to it, they know what it is, the old school style, the way Danny Boy brings it, the way J3 brings it, the way Bravo brings it, the way Prophecy brings it. They're bringing it the old school back to the new school, making it new. This is the new blood, ladies and gentlemen, and they're doing it, and it's such a powerful message. They're persistent, they're patient, they're consistent. It's not easy. Talk about some of the challenges about being an artist and creating and deciding to create your own clothing line.
The challenges, well, I want to wrap it around the brand in itself because it's really what it is. From the beginning, I guess the challenge mainly was trying to build that self-confidence, build that self-confidence within yourself. And even if sometimes when you get this like bright idea, you just feel the need to like tell everyone, right? To get their opinion or to get an approval. Almost people almost like want to get approval, but it sometimes you got to understand that just you by doing that, you're already limiting yourself almost, because people will always try to find a way to double think yourself. So even though you have this bright idea where for a fact it's going to work if you put your all into it, just you by sharing it to somebody that doesn't have the same vision as you, they're not going to see it like you do. Only you can see the vision. So they're gonna almost be negative about it in like a sense. So that may throw you off. Throw you off and your build. So you gotta learn to keep things to yourself and build and just keep going, and you're gonna see the vision unfold as you go. Sometimes you just need to understand that you don't need that approval from anyone. As long as you can see your own vision and that, hey, if I really put my all into this because this is who I am, it's going to work.
100%. Yeah. Sometimes it's a lonely road, right?
It's definitely a lonely road.
Because you're the only one. You're creating this thing. Rick Rubin talks about, I put it in my story all the time. It's like if you're creating music for other people, then that's not how art works. If you're creating movies for other people, that's not how art works.
Yes,
if you're creating an idea like a clothing brand and you're trying to get the influencer, trying to impress other people, that's not how art works. That's not art. You have to first create it for yourself. And by doing so, you end up doing the best thing you could have done for other people.
Yes, exactly.
Because they're gonna catch on. They're catching on a persistent, consistent patient. They're gonna catch on to that brand, but only if you do it the way you have it in your head.
Correct.
That thing that you have in your head is that thing, and if you don't change it, and it's only that vision you first had, and when you're at 12 a.m. in your brain and exploded, that is it, and it cannot change from that. And people, like you said, will try to it's not that they're trying, maybe sometimes they're not trying to like hurt you or anything. They're just trying to give you advice.
Correct.
They're trying to, but you know, they're your family, but it's not the thing. Right? Nobody can kind of explain how this show works. This is just I do my thing. I can't explain it sometimes. I can't explain it to myself.
Exactly.
It's music, it's food, it's art, it's all kinds of it's passion.
Correct.
And we have that passion for our art, and it's alone. I can't like I can only talk to me.
Yeah.
I can only get inspired by I used to, when I first did it, I would be like, okay, I want to try to sound like this guy. I want to try to sound like Joe Rogan. I want to try to sound like this guy. But then I go, but there's this voice. I'm like, there's this voice that I keep, there's this voice. And then I accidentally turned on my podcast and I go, that's the voice. It's me. It's my voice. That's the voice. That's the one. I want to sound like him. And it was me. Like, dude, that's when I found my voice.
There you go.
It's the same thing for the brand. It's like it can only be you. It can only be your vision, and it's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this all leads. Cause I mean, like I said, I already envision it. You know, it's almost kind of like it reminds me of like a interview with J. Cole, how he says you gotta put yourself in like the highest perspective, like where you can see yourself the highest. You still gotta dig deeper and go higher. Go higher. Go higher.
That's some striving.
There's no limit. There's no limit to where you can push yourself. It's you're the only person that's stopping yourself.
100%. I had that this morning. I'll tell you what, I was like, what am I doing waking up at 7 a.m, going on Twitch and playing music for people? It's crazy. And now I'm here with J3EZUS. That's why you get these opportunities to be with these great artists and these creators of brands that are going to be on you. These are the clothing lines that are going to be on you in the future. So this is awesome. What's the most rewarding thing about having your own company now?
The most rewarding, I definitely will say seeing the people that are actually finally starting to see this come together. They're seeing the bigger vision to it finally. They're not just like how I'm talking to you, that it's more than just a brand, it's a way of life. People see that. And even if I don't talk to them in person or directly about what the brand is, they already see it. Like I have people following me right now that are still like new followers on my brand page. I don't even know them. They're strangers. Like, you know, not even to say it in a negative way, because strangers honestly are my biggest supporters. I love people that I've never met before, because they're the ones that honestly can see the vision from an outside perspective, and they see it for what it truly is. I have people that are messaging me that are like, hey, I like what you're doing. I love what you're doing. The message that you're trying to get out to the public. And that's really what it's about. You know, it's making people realize that this is more than just a brand. And eventually the thing that I want to get into is getting everyone that supports this brand as a movement, getting together in the community and creating something bigger than just us individuals. I want the community to help the community. I don't want it to just be, oh, you know, like, let's rep this name just because we support it or we like it or whatnot. Like, this is literally to help people in any way or shape or form.
That's awesome. I'm just showing pictures here of him explaining the brand on the Instagram as well, showing some of your hats and stuff like that. It's awesome. It's interesting how it happens like that all the time, and you can tell me if this was the same way for your music. The people that support you more are often strangers, right, than family or friends, or because they get. My theory is this, that one of the theories is, well, they get you all the time. Why do they want to see you again? Like, they're not gonna watch your podcast. They get to hear you all the time. They're gonna watch other stuff. Whereas strangers are gonna watch you like crazy. Strangers are watching us right now. Is it the same way? Was it the same way for your music? And is it the same way for the brand, where strangers are, like I think you just said it, strangers are getting it. They're understanding the message before even your closest friends sometimes.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think a part of that is because strangers don't know you at the level that the people close to you do. So they almost kind of see this gap of the unknown, you know, like they want to know more about you. And compared to the people that know you, they feel like they already know everything about you. So it's like you can really not offer more to the table. Like we know more than you know, or whatever it may be. But strangers, you know, once they find you, it's almost kind of like, wow, what more can this individual bring, you know?
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the music, like you said. With the music, I lived through it as I started to where I am now. It's still kind of the same thing. Like we go to these shows that we host ourselves at underground live events, and it's a lot of the artists that we put on the shows. Every show is different, new artists, and so we're always meeting new people. And every single show, it's like these new people. They support you in a way that is just almost unbelievable. It's like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I'm really getting this love and support. You know,
is it like refreshing?
It
like
almost
this
is,
new fresh
man.
wave of batch of fans that are getting the message right there.
It's almost like that whole time you weren't getting the support, you're holding your breath.
Dang.
And then once that stranger comes to you and gives you that support, it's like, whoa, I'm really able to breathe now.
Dang.
You know? It's almost
gives you
like
a
that.
refresher and probably gives you a boost to want to
keep going. Like,
keep
wow,
going.
I'm really doing something right. Like I'm, you know, I knew that this was going to work.
Great. I love that. I love the way you explained it, because it's the way they see it. You're almost a person that the way they see you is truly the way God created you. You're unlimitless, like the image of God, like you're created in the image of God, right? You're limitless, and you're almost you don't know your limits, and a stranger doesn't know. Since they don't know you, they assume you could do whatever, anything that your imagination can imagine. Where you're right, somebody that knows you is like, come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Oh, you're a rapper. Come on.
Exactly.
You used to pick up my poop in the backyard. You're gonna rap now. Come on.
It is a little like that, and it's like it brings me back to an interview that I heard with was it the Suicide Boys?
Oh,
it's a rap group, and they talk about how when they first blew up, they blew up in like the other side of wherever it is that they're from, like on the other side of the world, you know. Like they had to get out of their city, get out of their state for them to get known. Once they blew up elsewhere, then their city and where they were from accepted them. Their city never loved them or accepted them for who they were and what they were trying to create, or the vision that they had, until other people saw it. And it's really kind of how it is for everyone, you know, like how we're saying people don't really support you when they know you, but once they see the ball rolling and other people picking up on it, it's easier for them to jump into it and like, yeah, you know, we support this now.
Oh yeah, they have to. It's funny. That's why you see a lot of, even that's in a micro, in a macro sense, like look at the Beatles. Mm-hmm. They were in England. They were born in England, lived in England, jammed in clubs in England. They got a little movements. They were in England for quite some time. But then when they came to America, like they were like the best thing, the milk and cookies, like, oh my God, Beatlemania, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. The American bands will go over there, and Japan will love us. No. Taiwan will love us. Different countries will love the styles. I've had bands on here who ended up like staying in Japan, like just they were trying to make it here. It wasn't kind of happening. They were playing small clubs, but when they went over there, they weren't planning to stay forever, but once they got there and started, the Japanese people wouldn't let them leave. So they ended up getting residencies, living there, getting married there, staying there. And never coming back and just staying in that country because the other countries appreciate music more or a little differently now, because there's parts that just don't get it. You get it now more because of the social media. You get to see it, but to have somebody physically there performing for you from America, it's a whole thing. The same way, if a beautiful Japanese drummer came here, I would go see that. It's something that it's different,
out of the norm,
something you wouldn't see. So yeah, it's just common. And yeah, once the ball gets rolling, it's kind of proving grounds, right? Once they see, and that happens in sales too. It's like once you've proven that the product works, that thing actually works, then the rest of the market will come and gravitate towards it and want to buy, or in this case, absorb the music, the message, and now the clothing brand. So it's pretty awesome. The website coming out soon. You're going to be selling this through Batch Records. How soon is it going to be up on Batch Records?
We're trying to get it done by the end of the year. So we are still working on like a little edits here and there on the web page, because it's pretty much almost done. We're just like working on the little small things that go into the actual website. When you click onto it, like, you'll be able to see every single one of us as artists that is part of Batch Records on the titles, so you can click onto every single one of us individually and see what we have to offer as individual artists. But then as you go scrolling through the page, you'll see everything that we have to offer as a team, as a whole, like the music videos, the shows, the podcast now, just everything.
Nice. That's huge. Awesome. And the podcast is on YouTube. The brand will be on Batch Records. Eventually they'll have their own URL where you'll be able to purchase these things: hats, jackets, medallions, t-shirts. Everything's getting printed locally, or?
I'm working on collaborating with a handful of people that not only right now I know that I can count on, because I do have like other merch that I've done with like my artist name on it and stuff like that in the past, like with my album cover and stuff. But I'm trying to open my mind to new individuals that are starting just how I'm starting my brand. So, I'm starting my brand from scratch. So I'm trying to work with individuals that are starting their company of like making merch and stuff like that, brand new as well.
Local printers and stuff like that.
So it's pretty much almost kind of like the same way that they're helping me get out there. I'm gonna help them get out there.
That's
so
cool.
That I'm trying to start with somebody from scratch. I'm not just trying to work with somebody that's already pretty much per se made, someone that has a lot of clients per se already.
That's
so I'm trying to work with people that are still trying to get themselves out there as well.
That's smart. It's really cool because you're supporting another small business. You're a small business supporting another small business, and then on the money side of things, it might be a little cheaper too.
Correct. Yeah.
You might get a better deal. You guys are gonna be able to collaborate together, make it pump each other up, do collabs on Instagram, go up together, and then it's just cool. It's a positive thing. And then what you do is you just film everything, film the whole process. What is the persistence of this? What is the consistency of this? What is the patience of having to wait for a vendor and get your stuff printed? All that is just killer content. I'm super excited about the brand, and I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. Once again, it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be able to be working on this brand and be a part of the team with Batch Records and just everything that we have to offer.
Awesome. I'll be wearing this stuff. You guys will be seeing me. He's going to be sending me stuff as he comes out with it. He's going to be sending it over to the Race Flays. You'll be getting the exclusive. You'll be seeing me wearing this stuff on stories, on Reels and stuff like that. So I'll have it before everybody else has it. What about any shows coming up that we can see?
Shows, yeah. Our next show that we do have coming up, I was actually with Prophecy yesterday checking out the venue that we're going to be doing on the 16th of November. It's going to be in LA, and I believe that show's gonna be from like 8 to like midnight, like usual. Most of our shows tend to be around that time, like late nights, and on the weekends, where when people can actually have free time to do it, because we know other artists obviously have their own lives going on and they get busy too. So but we also have artists that come out of city, come out of state, so we also have to think about that, where we have to work with their schedule.
Their schedule too, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the venue?
The venue, not off the top of my head, no.
All right, cool. Well, they can check out your Instagram. His Instagram link's right there in the chat. Make sure you check out his Instagram. Find out where that's going to be. November 16th, 8 to 12. The whole Batch Record crew, or just a few of you guys?
Yeah, it's going to be the whole Batch Record crew.
Whole Batch Record crew. Amazing. The Batch Record album is out as well. Make sure you go to Spotify, check out the whole compilation, the Batch Record compilation. J3EZUS has his new brand. Patient, consistent, persistent. Stay off of PCP, my friends. Stay on PCP, the right PCP. Patient, consistent, persistent. Juice Gang. Stay thirsty, my friends. Not dangerous. Have a great one.
Later.